Shelley Hofberg is a clairvoyant, medium, pet psychic, and tarot reader. She does not ask for the details about your life, but primarily relies on her gift of clairvoyance to receive the psychic insights that will be the most helpful to you about your soulmate, relationships, money concerns, and your career path. As a pet psychic, she will receive insights about what your pet or pets wants you to know. As a medium, she will connect with your loved ones on the other side. Shelley Hofberg is the host of the Psychic Horizon radio show, produced by Goldilocks Productions and presented on Blog Talk Radio, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Shelley brings together the pioneers and visionary teachers to share with you some of the most enlightening knowledge that is out there today to expand your horizons and open the paths to higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Psychic Horizon Show. I'm your host, Psychic Shelley Hofberg, and today's special guest is Bill Foss, who will be talking about the Akashic Records and doing readings for you. And before I bring on Bill, I just want to make some quick announcements that next week, November 29th, I'm having Psychic Judy talking about oracle cards. On December 6th, I'm having medium and animal psychic Kirsten Ross. And on December 13th, I'm having psychic numerologist Jeremy Ryden, who's the author of The Quest Method, Your Intuitive Destiny Guide, and Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You Always Wanted. And on December 12th, I'm having a psychic medium and tarot reader, Brian Rawls. And I just want to let you know that on November 24th, and December 29th, I'm going to be at the Heart Space Psychic Fair in Irvine, California from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on December 8th, I'll be at the Learning Light Foundation Psychic Fair in Anaheim, California, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm now ready to bring on my special guest, Bill Foss.
Hello, Shelley.
Hello, Bill.
How are you today? Hi.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona today.
Oh, good. And can you tell the callers about yourself?
Yes, Shelley. Well, as you know, I am an Akashic Records reader, author, and also healer. So I do medical intuitive work. Also, I supply to people shamanic work. I also do soul level shamanic work, soul retrievals, clearings, entity removal, mediumship on the other side is often involved with my work with the Akashic Records and when I'm working with people psychically for healing or messages from their loved ones. And so that's a little bit about the wide range of work that I do, and it all stemmed from asking God to show me the way that it all worked. And it was meant for me to go on this journey, as it is many of us, and actually all of us, if I may. And as we start to wake up, we have our little calling card moments, from Spirit, as I like to call them. Calling card moments where Spirit says, oh, they asked, or they intended, or they thought about, or they have a situation in their life that's opening this person, many of us, into a possibility or a moment, a time, a doorway of transformation. And once they've got that connection made, the guides, the spirits, the masters, the teachers on the other side, the keepers of the Akashic Records, the angels, all of them, everybody that is good, that is looking out for humanity and wants to see us be the very best version of humanity that we can be through our evolving state on into ascension. And once that connection's made, they can really come through and they can take advantage of that moment and they can start to give to us. And that's exactly what happened for me as I went on my journey and I started the wake-up process of artist and musician earlier in life, as we've talked about before. And when that doorway opened, and this is something that all of us should look for, those moments, you know, even down to the small things like looking at the clock and, oh my God, it's 11:11 again. Or, you know, Spirit's trying to get our, Spirit is always trying to get our attention so that we are connected as much with Spirit as we are with the physical world. So I went on my self-remembrance program journey and I started to get into, when I found the Akashic Records, that opened me up to all other things. You know, the healing, the psychic work, the clearing, and also the many books that have started to come from this study, you know, from this these deep levels of inquiry. And honestly, I like to consider myself a student, you know, more so than a teacher. A lot of people know that I am a teacher and I work with people across the country and overseas from time to time through group readings, group workshops, and individual sessions. However, you know, my questions and my learning and my understandings that I want to know more. I'm always wanting to know more, and I think this is a very healthy place for all of us to come from, you know. So there's a little bit about my path, Shelley.
And let's take our first caller. Hello, caller.
Hello,
caller.
Hi there, this is Mike.
Hi, Mike. And Mike, how can we help you today?
Well, I just got done. My girlfriend and I rented an RV and spent last week in Sedona, which is amazing. So I love it there.
Awesome.
And so basically, I left my serving job. I just moved to Vegas, and so I'm kind of looking for something, preferably sales. But again, I can definitely go into the new year and kind of take my time with this approach. Do you see like hospitality or kind of maybe doing sales or something like that, kind of in that direction?
And what did you see for Mike, Bill?
Mike, what's your full name?
Michael Jock.
Okay. And you're living in Las Vegas right now?
Correct.
Okay, excellent. Well, let's take a look. I do see, obviously, because of Vegas, hospitality is going to be a big market, you know.
Right.
So the possibility of finding something there with your experience, your brightness, and your know-how, that's going to be a win-win because they're going to look at you and somebody will pick you up right away. They'll say, this guy is exactly the kind of personality that we like to have on board. I think that'll be easy. I do see another possibility for you, and it's based around it's not necessarily sales. It could involve more with corporate accounts. So let's say sales of corporate accounts or the closing of new accounts through a corporation. I see you as like a marketing person, figurehead. I want to say salesperson, but I don't think that's the right word for it. like a liaison, almost like a resources liaison for a corporation. So keep your eyes and ears open for something like that, because that's going to be a little bit bit different for you than working in hospitality.
Okay.
It'll give you mobility. It'll give you the money, I think, that you're looking for, and it's going to be a lot easier on your nerves, basically. And I get that you're very, very outgoing and you're a people person, so the hospitality thing is, that'll be a win-win if you decide to go in that direction. I'm just saying that I'm also seeing this other could be a long-term job for you that has good benefits and some travel involved.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
I am looking to maybe get my website going for getting back into commercial finance, which would have me kind of as a middleman type of thing. So I mean, I just figured it doesn't. I figure it doesn't hurt to put it out there, and see if there can, drum up any business from that.
Well, Las Vegas is a great market for that, because people are always looking for startup businesses. They're looking to invest in things. Vegas is a great doorway for all of that.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mike, I feel that the commercial finance business is going to be more international, that you'll be dealing with people in the United States, but there'll also be people outside of the country that will be interested in using your services. So I feel that there could be travel involved, you going abroad to travel to help clients and meet clients. And I feel that it's going to give you a much larger income, that your income is going to be larger, and that it will involve travel, and that in 2019, if you don't own a house right now, you're going to be in a position financially to get a house, and I see you living with your girlfriend, and I see you purchasing a house. So I feel you'll do the hospitality for a while until the commercial financing takes off. I don't see with the hospitality long term, because I think you're going to be able to make a good living doing the commercial financing, and that you're going to be able to attract a lot of clients. For this year, maybe up until March time, because it'll take time to get the business off the ground, you will be doing I feel you'll be more into restaurant management. That there is a restaurant, and it is in a very popular hotel, and it looks like it's kind of up high. And it's in a hotel, and I feel it would be more restaurant management, and and then as we get into March of next year, I feel you'll be leaving the restaurant management position to do the commercial financing full time. So it does look good. If I could be a further help to you, I charge $20 for 30 minutes. And what do you charge, Bill?
Well, Shelley, I have a website. It's billfoss.net, and I am $170 an hour for my consultations, and $330 for 2 hours.
And Bill, how can Mike get in contact with you?
Mike, if you want to get in contact with me for any reason further, and visit about your path or how I can help you, my phone number is 918-770-3810, and my website is billfoss.net.
And you could get a hold of me, Mike, at 818-744-5241, or go to my website, psychichorizon.com. And thank you for calling the Psychic Horizon Show, Mike.
Well, thank you very much. And just a quick note, I am moving in with my girlfriend January 1. So you're right.
Good. That's great. That's great.
So I'd give you a little bit of that validation right away.
Thank you, Mike.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mike, and have a good day. I'm now going to continue my interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then we're going to take our next caller. How did you come to study the Akashic Records, Bill?
Well, Shelley, it all started when I was picked up by aliens on the mothership. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Right. Actually, it was very. I wish that I had some over-the-top story like that. Like some folks do. But honestly, I was an artist and musician. I was working. It was very, very colorful. Lots of travel, a lot of shows, a lot of performances. Really out in the public eye for many years, working professionally. And when I got, there was just something missing. I was like, there's all of this, and it just keeps moving forward and escalating. My careers were moving forward, and I just felt like something was missing, even with personal relationships, having a significant other. And I thought, there's just something missing. I got to find out what it is. And it was this whole other world in my peripherals, which little did I know at that time in my life that I was destined to be going on this journey that I'm now part of, that I'm embarking on. The author, teacher, healer, speaker, traveling and working with others by phone and in person and speaking with large groups. I honestly, I knew people that were doing this already. And honestly, I never equated naturally that this is what I would be doing. I mean, it was the farthest thing from my mind, from my wildest dreams. So as I got into the Akashic Records, when I found the Akashic Records, much like modalities through books, I was reading a lot of Wayne Dyer and Deepak and other authors that, were available, anything and everything. And as I found the Ascended Masters, I got into studying the Ascended Masters, and I knew, I don't know how, I just knew. I was like, wow, these guys and girls are real-life superheroes, and they're on the other side. And then I got tapped into finding out and researching masters, living masters around the planet. And I started looking at their lives and what they did and what their capabilities were. People like Sai Baba and the Babaji, the immortal master from the Himalayas. And then I started to research the Himalayan masters, Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Anyone that wants to look that book set up and read it, it's over the top amazing. Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. There are stories about masters bilocating, manifesting, levitating, manifesting the elders in front of them, controlling the weather, protecting from nature, wild animals, and bandits, all kinds of incredible stuff. And when I got that far in my studies, I went, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now I'm onto something. This is a part of the world. There are parts of the world that were more spiritual, where they've been studying for centuries yoga and meditation and energy work. India and Asia being two key locations. And so I continued on with all of this, and then through working with the masters, I started hearing about the Akashic Records. It was referred to. So I started investigating. Edgar Cayce has been a wonderful source of information with records in going out to Virginia Beach and going to the ARE and looking through all of the case studies that he did with thousands of people working in the Akashic Records, and doing events out there and tapping into that energy, that powerful energy of why he landed there in that part of the country. All of this, and then I found my way to just the right books, and I started reading about the Akashic Records, and I didn't know why I already knew all of this. I mean, it was the strangest thing to me. You know, I didn't consider myself to be psychic or intuitive at the time, and yet every single, I was getting deja vu on every single sentence that I read about the records. So, I mean, I was just soaking it in, re-remembering, aligning with, connecting with. And so I started practicing going into the records, and I found that I was having these dynamic, over-the-top experiences when I would go in. There were no groups. There were no, we didn't have meetups then, and this wasn't that long ago, actually, but we didn't, the internet was honestly just getting started. And so there wasn't a whole lot of, there was no Facebook or anything like that. You had to do everything old school, So I would have an Akashic Records reading like once a year, and it was, and I'd get a copy of it sent to me on a cassette, and I started to, I continued to study. And I just kept after it. Years after I got into it, I just became so full of information that it just started coming out. And my teachers were asking me, they said, well, what are you going to do with all this information that you're gathering? I didn't know. I didn't have that answer. They were trying to get me to say, I'm going to teach. But I hadn't got to that moment yet. So there's a little bit about how I got into it, Shelley.
Oh, good. Well, let's take our next caller, Bill. Hello, caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Let's take another caller.
They must have slipped into the Akashic Records.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
Carolyn.
Hello, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
How you doing, Bill and Shelley?
Good.
I feel good, too. I wanted to know if you could tell me something from my Akashic Records about what I'll be doing next year, what's coming up for me, or if it's easier to just give me a message from Spirit or from a loved one, either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tap in here. Carolyn, what's your last name?
Carol. Carrrl.
That's right. That's right. Carolyn. Okay, Carolyn. Well, I am getting a message from your spirit guide, one of your spirit guides, and it's a young man who is African, and he's a shaman.
Okay.
And this is someone that you knew from past life as one of your incarnations.
Right.
It feels like it's you in that past life that's connecting with you through the soul on the other side. So that's very interesting. I don't see this dynamic a lot, but it does happen. I see he's showing me nature. He's saying that you're going to be spending more time out in nature. I am getting a sense for you that next year is going to be a lot lighter. It's going in retrospect to your journey and what you've been through in the last few years. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be clearer. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel better in your body, and it feels like your path is going to be more colorful. You're going to be more inspired.
Well, that's good.
Yes. So that's when you've got these elements, and you're asking the question, what am I going to be doing? The important thing, the important connection that I want to help you make here is that when you go into a heightened state, when your energy vibration lifts and you're in a higher, clearer state, you're happier, every single moment just seems like a world unto itself, you know? You're like, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do next? So, I really feel like the playing field is open to you. As far as I would be focusing on lifting your vibration and connecting with your guide, this young African shaman gentleman, and have that aspect of you talk to you on the other side and start to work with you vibrationally and give you the insight of how you're going to be stepping into. You're going to arrive at it naturally. A lot of this some of it's going to be astrological, and some of it's going to be based on that you're going to get a foot up, and it's in the body, and it's also about going out to nature. So between what's happening astrologically, what you're going to be working on because you're aware, and you're consciously aware and involved with your program, and then going out to nature and connecting with this guide, you're going to start to lift, and it's going to be one little step, and next thing you know, in 2019, I just feel it really feels good for you, getting out in nature, getting to the ocean, doing some spiritual work, just being, and letting that inspiration speak to you moment after moment, and that's going to create new possibilities for you. You're going to take at every turn. You're going to look in a direction, and you're going to think, what do I want to do today? Well, let's see, and you'll be just happy, and you'll be bopping along, and then all of a sudden you'll run into something. Maybe you'll find out about a class, or maybe you'll find out about an event, and you'll go, and there will be connections for you that can involve you on new levels and take you in new directions in life. So it's very interesting. You've got. I'm excited for you. You've got a good year ahead.
Oh, that's great. I'm excited myself. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Carolyn, Tammy is coming through, and Tammy is telling me that she appreciates all your kindness. That you were very kind to her. And, she felt loved by you. She felt your love. And you were like a mother to her. You were like a mother to her. And she really valued the friendship between the two of you. And she knew that you couldn't come all the time because it was far, but she wishes that you could have spent more time with each other, but she does appreciate the time that you spent together, and she wants you to know that she's happy. She's with her mother and father and her grandparents, and she's very happy. She felt lonely before, like there was no one, and now she has her family back, her family with her. And so she's very happy, and that she's watching over you, and that next year she's saying is going to be a good year for you. You're going to move next year near the water. There's going to be some travel. There's going to be a new relationship, and there's going to be a job at a metaphysical bookstore. You're going to get a job at a metaphysical bookstore, and you're going to be working. You're going to be working there. So she says there's a lot of changes coming up for you in 2019, and that you will have a soulmate to share your life with. And she's agreeing with me about the name Michael, because I always pick up Michael, and she's agreeing with me about the name Michael, that the man that you meet could be named Michael. And Bill, how can Carolyn get in contact with you?
Carolyn, if you ever feel a need to contact me, you already may have my phone number. It's 918-770-3810. And the new website is billfoss.net.
Okay. Well, I always have a need, Bill. You know that. But thank you.
Yeah, sounds
great.
Sounds great.
Thank you for calling, Carolyn.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're now going to continue our interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then we're going to take our next caller. Bill, what are the Akashic Records?
Well, Shelley, the Akashic Records are it's a topic that's referred to in a lot of spiritual studies, a lot of spiritual texts, and it's a buzzword from time to time. So we hear about it, and there's a vibration around it. So when somebody mentions the Akashic Records, we usually go, "Oh yeah," that's it. It has this neato kind of a feel to it. It is literally one of the foundations energetically of our whole planet, of our whole society, of our history, the creation of this planet, the creation of the world. The Akashic Records is a multidimensional library that's in the higher dimensions of the etheric field of the planet. And this is where all of the souls visit in between lifetimes. It dates back through our history in our writings all the way back through ancient Egypt, the Asian cultures, and on into Atlantis and Lemuria. So we have written records of the Akashic Records, and individuals and groups working with these records, going in, finding meditation. Can you imagine how exciting it must have been for the ancients to start to work with the records? In some ways, because the vibrations were higher and clearer in time to time, it could have been just like second nature to them. And then again, in medieval times, when the Templars and the Rosicrucians and the Gnostics and all of these groups, these spiritual groups, and healers, seers, mystics, wizards, all of the people that were working with the old religion, in Celtic times, Scandinavian times, when they had these ancient pathways that they found through journeying up into the records. Can you imagine how exciting that must have been for them to find this place and then to start to use it with reverence, to bring information to a soul or to find out what was coming? They didn't have the internet. They didn't have they didn't have any way of knowing what was coming next year or what was coming next month or who was over their border, what to expect from other countries, other kingdoms, etc. And so they would use these records, and they would find out, they would look clearly into the future, as they were even helping to write it. So the Akashic Records is a living library. It's interactive with each human. We have a book of life in the Akashic Records that's stored, we're connected to through our chakra system along the spine and our crown chakra. And as we do things in life, it's going to be in your Akashic Records. So let's say if you make a cup of coffee, that might not be in your book of life, unless, if you're an avid coffee drinker, for instance, that's going to be in your book of life. If something else, a major relationship or something that happened around a relationship or response to losing a loved one, or creating a great path or helping others, or anything that's our birth, our death, where we lived, what we've done, our path. All of these aspects are in the Akashic Records, and it's a living library that we can use for healing, for understanding, to develop ourselves on a soul level, to develop ourselves psychically. And it's in the new book. I have a new book out that we'll talk about here after a while, probably how to read the Akashic Records, where I really break it down and I go through all of this on an elementary level.
Oh, good. We'll be able to take our next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, Shelley. Hi, Bill.
Oh.
This is
Hi.
Cindy.
Hello.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call today.
And Cindy, how can we help you?
I would like some insight on my Akashic Records, I should say, on what you see for me moving forward as far as finances, career. I've been trying to make a residential move, but the finance part keeps getting in the way, and it seems like there's a lot of delays.
Mm-hmm.
So any insight into what I should be doing, I guess, or how to move forward?
Sure. And Cindy, what is your full name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia? Cynthia
Mm-hmm.
Stevens? And what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Florida.
All right. Well, Cynthia, what it feels like, you're working with a lending institution?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. You may want to seek it. You may want to seek out a different lending institution. Now I'm seeing like an institution. Were you going through a private individual for this, or?
Well, finance for work. I was.
Okay, tell me what your question
really
is
slow.
again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I'm wanting to make a residential move, and there's been a lot of delays. And finances is now part of the delay. There were some other things, different things that kept coming up as delays.
Oh.
And I'm wanting to relocate. And I'm wondering, any insight you have as to if you see me moving, how the finances are going to come together, or what I should be doing to be able to move forward with the residential relocation.
Okay. The first thing that they're giving me on this is for you to start visualizing, start creating, start working with your subconscious mind. Okay. You want to get out of the fear mode. You've got a lot of ocean energy to work with down there. It's a very strong place for manifesting. And that being said, if you're having stress or fear in the moment, you're generating, it's just slowing you down a little bit. So visualize as if. So let's take this, and I work a lot with affirmations and manifesting as far as classes and with individuals and clients and in my own life. And if you're wanting to get that job, your subconscious, your mind is so powerful. If any of us knew the power of our own mind, it would literally be mind-blowing. When we get into alignment and say, I am creating this. I am creating my new job, and I am prosperous, and I will move. And it will start from that place. From that place, you will get opportunities that will just start showing up for you right and left. The money will come. You are going to break out of this. It's not. I don't sense for you that there's any huge that you're in a deep dark place with it. But even though it feels troublesome what you're experiencing within yourself and your world, it's like a paper wall that you're going to bust through with this, and you're going to manifest it very easily. So be in gratitude and start practicing. Practice the gratitude, and when you go out to the store, go to the store as if, and I'm just using this as an example, go to the store as if you're coming from your new home or you're on your way to your new home. I have a new home, and I am on the way to there. So start rehearsing this. I call it mental rehearsal. Start rehearsing from this point forward, like that you are getting ready to move. You're getting ready to move to your new place. And when you can convince the subconscious to stop taking negative cues from the ego and to listen to your conscious mind and give these creative commands that, yes, we're on our way. We are on our way. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself 10 times. Say it to yourself 100 times. I'm on my way to my new house. And be in that moment, like if you drive to the store, if you go across town, I'm on my way home. I'm on my way to my new place. I have plenty of money. I'm very thankful. And don't let anything else creep into your mind, and see how that manifests with the energy down there. I do feel like you're going to move, and it's going to show up in a way that will be interesting for you in the way that it shows up, because I also see you looking online and looking at jobs in the areas that you want to move to. Is it another town that you want to move to?
Yes, I want to move out of this entire area.
Because of the weather and whatnot?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the weather, but just some other things that are, yeah.
Okay.
Other people on the path. But.
I see. This is key, and start doing some releasing. Start doing some releasing and praying. This is going to get you into a place. Write it down, draw it, doodle it, write it, get creative with it, get into your happy zone with this, and manifest it. So when we work with the records, we're writing it. So there are different opportunities for you. Let me go as far as to say that there are different opportunities for you in different areas that are going to be more in the mainland. I am seeing almost Midwest, but I'm seeing more central of the country. there's a line that runs between Atlanta, Nashville, and up towards Chicago. And I see you in this vicinity. You may want to check out, I don't know if you've considered this or not, but you may want to check out Tennessee. I know that might be a stretch, but that's completely a different, it's more grounded. It's way more grounded than what you're trying to get away from.
My son just moved. Yeah, actually, my son moved to Tennessee, and I'm looking in the area he's in.
Excellent. Well, that's wonderful. That's going to give you that's going to give you the home life. It's going to give you the grounding with the earth. The people are just wonderful. You know, it's not going to be. Florida can be a little transitional. You know, there's a lot of energy moving in a lot of different ways that can even be karmic with the earth and karmic with the people. So it's a whole different. People are more grounded in Tennessee. You know, there's a lot of creative energy coming from the earth, and it's good for relationships as well. So congratulations. That's a good area to move into. But you know, that being said, now let's use that, and not to take up too much of your time here. Everything we were talking about was manifesting. Get into that heart space, which is all Tennessee. Get into that heart space and let it literally pull you there. Say, I'm going home. You know, I'm going home. I want to be in this great, beautiful outdoor climate that is safe and where the people are great and loving and kind, and really start to generate that in your heart and really open into it. And then start to look online, you know, and start to manifest and just know I am going, and see how Tennessee, see how Mother Earth starts to work with you with the manifesting.
Okay. Very cool.
Cindy, I think that you will move to Tennessee, and I do feel between now and the month of February is when you're going to be moving. I feel you're going to be doing some temp work until you move, so you will be able to get money together to make the move, and I feel your son would help you. And I feel that you're going to be doing a different kind of work as far as a job than what you were doing before. I'm seeing something opening up possibly in the hotel business. I'm seeing you may be getting a job at a hotel, a very high-end hotel. It's one of the hotels that are kind of well-known. They're nationwide, and you're getting into a hotel, and I feel that would be a more of a creative job for you, and a good job for you, where you won't have to be sitting behind a desk all day, you know, where you'll be connecting with people. So I'm feeling you getting into a different kind of field and a different kind of job than what you were doing before. There's something that's in the Tennessee area in the way of a hotel. For the holidays, I feel that you might be working in November, December, and a job that involves helping animals. You know, because you love kids and you love animals. I feel you have pets yourself, animals yourself around you, and you're good with them. You know, so the move to Tennessee feels like it's really coming not this year. It's coming more towards the month of February. And by then, I feel that you would have saved up some enough money to be able to make the move. And I agree with Bill that Tennessee would be a good place for you. The people are nice. It's beautiful there. There's opportunities for you to be more creative. I feel that you're a creative person. What do you do that's creative?
Yeah, I've always been creative. I've done home remodeling. I've done a lot of different types of work, actually. And but I do work with animals and healing work with animals, therapeutic.
Oh, okay, because I saw you working with animals, you know, and then, you know, you're going to have an opportunity to either stay with working with animals, continue your career with animals, or to go into the hotel business, and I think you might end up doing both. I don't think you're going to give up your work of animals. I think you're just going to have another kind of job that brings in more revenue for you. So I think you'll be doing two things because I see your finances being good, and I feel that finances will be better for 2019. And if I could help you again, I charge $20 for 30 minutes, and my number is 818-744-5241. And my website is psychichorizon.com. And Bill, how can Cindy get in contact with you?
Thank you, Shelley. Cindy, if you want to get in touch with me for any reason, my phone number is 918-770-3810, and my website is billfoss.net, BILLFOSS.net. And real quick, Cindy, I just want to mention, as Shelley was talking there, and this could be a key factor for you, I was really feeling Chattanooga. I was really feeling the area of Chattanooga, the outskirts of Chattanooga, the outlying areas as far as living. That's more in the country, but Chattanooga is a great, it's a very, it's new. There's a lot of opportunities there. Nashville's going to have a different feel. Tennessee in general, that whole area is going to be wonderful. But check out for job opportunities. You might look in the area of Chattanooga.
All right, thank you. Yeah, my son's about an hour north of there.
Excellent, excellent.
And thank you for calling, Cindy.
Thank you so much. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you.
We could take one more caller. Caller, hello, we're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. Hello, caller.
Hello, Shelley.
Hi.
I'm just kidding. It was me.
Okay. Well, I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you for being a guest today, Bill, on the Psychic Horizon show. I wanted to thank Tiffany Whitesage, woman of Goldilocks Production, for producing the Psychic Horizon show. And I want to thank all the callers who called in today.
Yes, thank you, Shelley. Thanks for having me on your show. I always enjoy being here with you, and thank you also to Tiffany.
Thank you, Bill, and have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.